Hello, welcome to the Dean Rusk Middle School Veterans Day program for 2022. I'm Lloyd McDonald, Band Director at Dean Rusk, and on behalf of our principal, Ms. Dawn Weinband, we are proud to present this program to honor our veterans. Today's program will include patriotic music selections by our band and chorus, student readings about Veterans Day, as well as some local veterans with Dean Rusk connections sharing their experiences serving in our military. Would you please stand as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by 8th grader Abigail Palazaci.
Hello, I'm Abigail Palazaci. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, I'm Ashley Rucker with a brief history of Veterans Day. Veterans Day is observed each year on November 11th. It is a day set aside to recognize the millions of Americans who have served in the armed forces of the United States. This date goes back to Armistice Day, which marked the ending of the hostilities between the Allies and Germany at the end of World War I. The armistice occurred on the 11th hour of the 11th day of November and was to be the end of the war to end all wars. President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed the first Armistice Day with the following words: "To us in America, to the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy and peace and justice in the councils of the nations." In 1954, President Eisenhower signed legislation changing the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day to recognize the veterans of World War II and the Korean War. Since that time, American soldiers have fought and died in Vietnam, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan, and other places around the world. Veterans Day is intended to thank living veterans and those who have died for their service, to acknowledge that their contributions to our national security are appreciated, and to underscore the fact that all those who have served have sacrificed and done their duty. For all of our country's veterans, we honor you with our Veterans Day program here at Dean Rusk Middle School.
Hello, my name is Lily Koenig. Today's heroes and heroines of the armed forces are serving across the globe just as they have done for decades. We remember our family and friends as they commit to their missions in faraway places such as Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. We mostly hear of servicemen in these locations. However, let's not forget we have troops in Europe, Japan, Guam, Korea, and many of them supporting the mission of defense here in America. In addition to efforts of our defense, our military commits many acts of goodwill and humanitarian aid around the world. Rebuilding infrastructures, establishing education programs, and providing construction training are just a few of the actions our military takes to help war-torn regions thrive again. In land where the citizens have been afraid of the government, our military helps foster new relationships between government's leaders and local citizens. As part of our Veterans Day celebration, let's remember those who have served our country and those who currently serve all over the world.
Hello, I'm Natalie Pereira. While Veterans Day was created to honor living veterans, it is also appropriate to take a moment to remember those soldiers who have passed on. This morning, we will honor our departed soldiers with the playing of taps. Taps will be sounded today by Mr. Lloyd McDonald, our band director. Please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the sounding of taps to honor our fallen veterans.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking down the red highway, I saw a
My name is Alicia Weisgerber, and I am a U.S. Navy veteran. I want to thank you for taking the time to hear our stories today. This is my story currently, but I started out in nursing school and looking for scholarship money, and I found a nursing scholarship program with the Navy. So I signed up and I finished school, and I got shipped to Washington, D.C. for my first assignment, where I had a wonderful experience. And then time shifted, and September 11th happened, and everything changed for me. Went to many different places, had a lot of different experiences. I took care of traumas from war. I took care of sick veterans. I took care of children of veterans and active duty members as well, but mostly Marines and sailors. I've been on ships, I've been to Cuba, I've been to the Middle East. So many stories. But what it all means to me on Veterans Day is that all those experiences away from home and seeing all the things that we take for granted at home, we don't have a big view of the world if we don't go anywhere, but when we do, they don't have as many freedoms as we have. The freedoms of speech, the freedoms to say whatever they want, the freedoms to buy, go, download anything you want to download are not as free in other countries. And that's what we're fighting for. Or representing. We don't necessarily have to fight, but we have to go be diplomatic. We can show our love and our compassion and take care of others. And that, as a nurse, that's tend to be what my diplomatic process was. But I just want to share it's my general feeling about Veterans Day, as it reminds me of all the people that I was representing when I was in the military, and then all the people that I served while I was there, all the men and women in uniform. They have such bravery and compassion, and I pray for all of them. I pray for you, and thank you for listening, and happy Veterans Day.
Hey, Dean Rusk Middle School. My name is John Weisgerber, and I am a police officer for the state of Georgia. I work for the Georgia Public Safety Training Center, where my job is to train people basically how to become police officers in the state of Georgia. I am also a veteran in the United States Navy, where I served for 20 years, both active duty and reserve, and I retired as a Chief Petty Officer in 2015. Basically talking today about Veterans Day and what it means to me. First off, the reason why I joined is because I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I finished high school. I joined the Navy immediately after high school when I was 18 years old, and was trained as a builder, which is also known as a CB, which John Wayne made a movie about us from World War II to about our exploits serving in different battles during World War II. But essentially, I was a carpenter and a mason. I worked concrete and different forms of construction throughout my time in the Navy. And I got to serve in some pretty cool places during my time. During that 20-year time period, I served in Japan, Mississippi, a little island in called Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. Went to Singapore, London, Spain, Belgium, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Guam, and then I also served 2 tours in Iraq, Kuwait, and the Kingdom of Bahrain during that entire time period. And then just small little places here and there throughout my time period, Alaska, kind of all over the U.S. To me, what does it mean to be a veteran? For me, it really means that I had the opportunity to serve my country and serve something that was bigger than me, and be able to provide all kinds of services, not just to the U.S., but outside the U.S. During peacetime, we were trained to do humanitarian missions, which you might find yourself digging water wells for people in Africa, or you might, like myself, serving in the Indian Ocean, building housing for Filipino workers that were located on the island. It was a little tropical island. It was very small. It was only 1.5 miles wide at its largest point. I spent 7 months there building places for people to live on the island. So, and then the other part of my job was during wartime to provide support to different combat units depending on where they got sent and where they got deployed. One of the benefits of the job is that in 20 years, I never had to serve on a ship. I never had to go anywhere on a big boat. I got flown everywhere. We were trained for combat. I was fortunate enough to serve with the Marines, the Army, and then the last about 7 years of my career was spent with Naval Special Warfare supporting Navy SEALs and Army Special Forces and deploying with them and training with them throughout my whole time period. As far as what does Veterans Day mean to me, it's an opportunity for me to remember the people that I served with, all the men and women that I had the fortunate opportunity to actually serve with and deploy with, and it's just a good way for me to remember that, and those who came before me as well. All the men in my family served in the military, and it's a good way for me to remember them and the sacrifices that they made and their beliefs in democracy and the Constitution and everything that we stand for in the United States. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all, and thank you very much, and thank you for remembering all veterans on Veterans Day, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Hello, I'm Mike Gazelle, and I am a retired Army National Guard veteran. Spent 29 and a half years in service to our country. People ask me, what does it mean to be a veteran? And I think 3 words that always stand out to me, partly because I grew up with people who were in the military, but duty, honor, and country. Duty, I felt like it was a part of my obligation to give back to this country and to serve in a way that people before me have served, because the freedoms I enjoy and the opportunities I've had, whether it's religious or educational wise or work, they were all paid for with a price. And as you study history and look at the different wars that the United States has been in, you realize that everything could have changed quite a bit had we not had men and women who were willing to take up the cause and fight the battles. Honor is another word. When I served, it was an honor to serve. I was proud of the uniform. I was proud of what we did. I was proud of people that honored the servicemen, if you will. Of course, everybody didn't, but that's beside the point. But it was my honor to serve this country and to serve our citizens and to do what I was asked to do. Country, there's no better place to live than America. And if I had to do it all over again, I would put the uniform back on today. We take an enlistment oath to serve, and I certainly would do that again. Just to wrap up a little bit, I know this is kind of short, but I just want to thank all the other veterans, people who have given in service. And as you young people look forward, think about what you want to do and be thankful for the freedoms and the opportunities that you have. And if you go back and really study your history, you'll find out most of those freedoms were really not free. They were paid for by people who served, people who fought in wars, and people who took up the cause when they were called to serve. So with that being said, just again, duty, honor, and country, and it was my obligation and my duty to serve, and I'm very proud that I did, and thank you for your time.
Hey there, my name is Sergeant First Class Judson. I'm currently in the U.S. Army Reserves. Thought I first off want to wish all my brothers and sisters around the world happy Veterans Day, and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Ryan Judson's dad. I've been in the Army almost 24 years. I'm gonna retire one day, but I'm still enjoying myself. So I got 5 deployments. I've been to Afghanistan twice, Iraq twice. Even got to go to Africa. So it's been a pretty good experience and everything. So I don't have any regrets about what I did or anything like that. it's been a pleasure serving the people of the United States, my small little part. And you guys have any kind of question or anything like that, I mean, I feel be happy to tell you guys. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to serve in the United States Army. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for your service to us veterans and everything you guys do for us while we're away and when we're at home. Thank you so much.
Hi, Dean Rusk. Thanks for having me. My name is Sean Ondeck, proud father of Gavin and Gwyneth. I am a former U.S. Air Force U-2 crew chief. In 2001, I was entering my junior year of college. After the towers fell on September 11th, I shipped off to start my 4-year enlistment. I spent the first year at Osan Air Force Base in South Korea, flying reconnaissance missions over North Korea. From there, I traveled much of Europe and the Mediterranean, executing additional reconnaissance missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. Serving my country was an inflection point. It set my life on a new course, and as a former airman, I find myself in constant pursuit of reattaining the meaningfulness of those 4 years, chasing the feeling I had when my profession involved working in challenging conditions with the teams of great people to solve big problems whose scope exceeded personal gain. I truly believe it is the patriotic duty of every able-bodied man and woman to serve their country, to protect our way of life, and to stand up to put our lives on the line for our beliefs. You don't need to agree with everything your government does. You only need to love your homeland to be patriotic. It is the people you serve, not the government. Thank you for your time today. Hope everyone has a blessed day. God bless our veterans, and God bless our active duty service members serving all over the world today.
My name is Imania Denibo. We have several members of our faculty and staff who are veterans. We would like to take a moment to recognize them. Dr. Santiago Santana of the Air Force, Mr. Mark Diss of the Army, and Dr. Tom Ustery of the Air Force. We will now honor those who have served in each of our branches of our military with their performance of the Armed Services Medley, arranged by Colonel Don Schofield of the United States Air Force Band, performed by the Dean Rusk Middle School Band and Choir.
United States Army! United States Marine Corps!
Thank you for watching the Dean Rusk Middle School Veterans Day program. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Take some time today to reach out to a veteran. Maybe it's someone in your family, maybe it's someone that you run into when you're out to eat or out shopping. But reach out to them and thank them for their service to our country. Thank you again, and have a wonderful Veterans Day.